think you're good now.
Absolutely. That looks like it. Okay.
Nice.
Elon University Detail Map Image Group. Heading level 1.
Actually, can you hear voiceover?
I can hear voiceover.
Okay, that's good.
Decrease system volume. Accelerate Elon University Detail Map button. Heading level 1. Elon University Detail Map. Accelerate Elon University Detail Map. Press F.
There you go.
Moving to center. Showing 47 of 47 objects.
Okay, so I did move it to labels only the last time I used this.
Verbose. Off. Label.
There it is. That did help because I didn't want necessarily the whole instructions for everything just yet.
Sure.
But
Now, the other instructions, tell me what you liked and what you didn't like. Was you just said the full instruction you didn't want to hear every time? Was that helpful sometimes?
It was whenever I set a location that I wanted to really start from. But
Okay.
but for now, like if I'm in the, just because I don't know where it really, like what point it really starts at, or is it just an overview of the map until you actually select a place?
Oh, very good question. So it starts as if you are in the very, very center. So it takes the map and figures out what center is, and then that's where you are, that's what you're looking from. So if you wanted to start from, tell me one of the locations that you found in the map.
I believe it's the Curry Center.
Okay. And do you have an idea of where that is within the map?
I think it was at the bottom.
Okay. Look around and see if you can find it.
Okay.
North of Avenue and Phoenix Drive. Intersection of Chandler Fountain. Acoustic landmark. La Rose Digital Theater. Academic Building. Phoenix Activities and Recreation Center. PRC. Sport. Ernest A. Curry Senior Business Center. Colonnade Dining Hall. Ernest A. Curry Senior Business Center.
Oh, wait a minute. Go back. Does it say colonnades?
Phoenix Activities and Recreation Center. PRC. Sports. La Rose Digital Theater. Academic Building. Chandler Fountain.
Okay.
Acoustic landmark. La Rose Digital Theater. Academic. Colonnade Dining Hall.
Okay, that's the dining hall for that section.
Right.
1,500 yards. 500 yards.
Yeah. That's probably where you're going to be eating if you're staying in the Colonnades neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's going to be an important one. So from the center of campus, where is that? Or from the center of this map, I should say, not necessarily center of campus.
I mean, well, it's top right, visually at least.
Absolutely. So if you wanted to jump to the dining hall and then look around what's near the dining hall, how would you jump there?
Press enter.
Okay, let's see where that goes.
Moving to Colonnade Dining Hall. Showing 20 of 47 objects.
Okay.
All right, so let's see if there is a dorm room that's marked in that area.
La Rose Digital Theater. Academic Building. Ernest A. Curry Senior Business Center. Sailing Hall on Phoenix Drive. Academic Building.
So that's a hall, but that's okay.
Harper Hall. Academic Building. Muffet Hall and Dalton Michael Drive. Academic Building.
So those are all academic buildings.
Jimmy Carlton Center. Sport. William Henry L. Pavilion. North Antioch Avenue.
Sound? What did that tell you?
That it was down.
It was down. And then what about the pitch? What does the pitch tell
Oh,
you?
at lower pitch.
It was a lower pitch. And what does that mean?
That it's further away.
Yeah, absolutely. So now you know that that's way down south and it's quite a bit farther away because the pitch is so much lower.
Right.
They said on your paperwork, it said that you're being the Colonnades neighborhood. So I'm guessing that neighborhood is that northeast corner up there on the map. And it's probably one of those dorm buildings in that neighborhood. It may not be called Colonnades.
Right.
And then again, it might be. So at this point, before we go, we need to look up the address. So we just do a web search for Colonnades dorm and see if there is one, or if it's the neighborhood, it's going to be one of those dorms close to that dining hall. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay.
So what Carly had told me is that up in that northeast corner, that's the newer dorms. The older dorms are down in the main part of campus. And she thought that the freshmen are in the older dorms. So even though your summer program sounds like it's going to be in the newer dorms, you may be in the other part of campus for the actual year.
Right.
Okay. All right. Did you want to explore anything else up in that northeast corner?
I mean, we need to find some of the like the English buildings and all of that.
Okay. All right.
But I don't know if it would be up here, but I would think that would be more in the center of campus, but I don't know.
Okay.
So I mean, I can continue just to see what's around here as well.
Sure. Take a look, whatever you want to do.
East Howard Avenue and North Valley Avenue, T intersection.
Okay, so we have an intersection.
Carolina Residence Hall. Smith Residence Hall.
Well, I found 2 residence halls, but they're pretty far south.
And those are probably the older ones. So
Yeah.
like there's 2 groups of areas that have residence halls.
Okay.
Harold Roosevelt Library.
And there's the library.
Young Commons and East Hatter Avenue. Cooley Athletic Center, Sport. Mosley Center, Conference Center. Lakeside Dining Hall. Global Neighborhood, Academic Building. Global Lead on Phoenix Drive, Academic Building. North Oakland Avenue and Phoenix Drive, intersection
So we're
roundabout.
back, I
So-
believe.
Chandler Fountain, acoustic landmark.
In that global section, could that be where your global experience stuff would be?
North Oakland Avenue and Phoenix, Global Lead on Phoenix Drive, Global Neighborhood, Academic Building.
Actually, because that is an academic building, it says.
Okay. And so where is that located?
West.
It's-
Well,
Go ahead.
well, where is it located in relation to what?
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. Okay, so where are you right now? Where you
At the
start?
dining hall.
Yes. So if you wanted to see where it was in location from the dining hall, like where you're going to be this summer, then you know it's straight west, or it's west of you.
Yeah.
But if you want to go back to the center of campus and figure out where it is, how do you go back to the center?
I pressed 0 once.
Absolutely.
Okay.
1 mile, showing 47 moving to center, showing 47 to 47 objects.
Okay.
Okay, so now where is the global neighborhood from the center of the map?
Does it stay selected on where it was?
You know, it does, but if you're not sure, what do you do?
Oh,
Global Neighborhood, Academic Building.
that's probably a good idea. Okay.
Absolutely.
Uh,
So you have
Source.
only, how do you know what direction it is?
how do I know what? You mean visually or what?
Well, I don't know. You tell me. How do you know if it's, previously you said it's west. Where is it now?
Global Neighborhood, Academic Building, 321 yards northwest.
Northwest.
Northwest. Okay. And how did you figure that out?
I changed the mode to terse and told it where to. I just told it to play the building name again, or the information.
Absolutely. And so how did you change the mode to terse? What did you use?
The C key.
Absolutely. Okay. So when you were just going around and listening, you didn't want to hear all the bearing and the distance. Is that
Correct?
You put it just to label, but then you went back in order to figure out the direction. What else could you use to help give you an idea of what direction it is?
I mean, I looked at the green line and it pointed northwest.
Okay, so visually you're looking at it. Absolutely, that works well. You know, they tried, when they created this software, they were trying very hard to make sure that kids that have vision can see and make sense of this map as well. Okay, what about your earbuds? Are you getting any information about where things are located by your ears?
Global Neighborhood, Academic Building.
So this one came out of the left side of the, as a higher pitch of my earbud.
Okay, well, the higher pitch tells you if it's closer or farther away. So if it's closer to the center or out towards the edge of the circle. And then in your left ear does tell you that it's on the left side. This is where if you had the game controller, that you can actually use the little, oh gosh, there's a name for
Like
that.
the knob, the
Yes.
joystick.
Thank you. I'm thinking toggle switch, and that's not.
Oh boy.
Knob. You can use that knob, and you can actually tell if you're in the, you can move it to the top left or the bottom or wherever, and it gives you a physical idea of where.
Yeah, and that's a pretty cool thing, but I don't have a game controller.
Right. The other thing that the game controller does is that as you pass due north, due east, due south, and due west, it vibrates.
Oh wow.
Gives you a subtle clue that, oh yeah, now I'm due north. Okay, so it gives you, it divides it up into quarters and it gives you that subtle clue as well. But you can use this software without a game controller. No.
Yes.
Okay. Um, so the whole thing about being a circular map, can you describe that or explain why it's circular to me? Have any idea?
I mean, is it because of the globe being circular?
Very good. It could be because the globe is circular, and that's very true. That's part of it. Um, what about, we call this the virtual cane that you're moving around to hear all
Mhm.
the different data points. If you stand in the middle of an open space and you move your cane and you move in a complete, you turn around and you use that cane, you sweep as far out as you can sweep. What shape does that?
360-degree circle.
Absolutely, it does. It gives you a circle.
So it's
So
a big compass
yeah,
sort of thing.
it is. So think about this as you're standing in the center, and then that's why the reference is always in the center, and it's just like sticking your cane
Oh.
down, okay? But instead of on a college campus, you can't physically stand in one place and sweep your cane out and explore everything, right?
Right.
But the digital map brings that great big picture and brings it down to a small piece so you
Yeah.
can. Okay, so you found the global neighborhood. Why don't you jump there and let's see what's around that global neighborhood.
Moving to global neighborhood. Academic building. Showing 46. 1,500 yards. 500 yards. 1,000 yards. Showing 43 of 47 objects.
Should I continue zooming in? I mean, we have a pretty broad area right now.
So I love it. What did you just do to zoom?
The equals and minus. Well, the plus sign and minus, but you don't have to press the shift, so.
Right. Okay. And then why would you want to zoom in?
Depending on the area that you want to kind of search around and how many points you want to investigate.
Right. So when you zoomed in visually, how does it look on the map if you were to look at those data points? From
I
when
mean, as you zoom in, you get closer to where you selected, but you start spreading out with what you have.
Right. That's the main thing is that when you're in a campus and there's a lot of data points, if you're zoomed down and all these data points look really close together, don't they?
Yes.
Zoom in, you lose the outlying data points, but then the other ones kind of break apart so you can tell exactly where they are. Otherwise, they're kind of all like stacked on top of each other.
Yes.
So you did that automatically. I love seeing that you've been playing around with this. Let's see now what's around the global neighborhood.
Okay.
Huntsfield Sports. 348 yards north. North of Lee Avenue and Phoenix Drive. Intersection roundabout. 368 yards east. Staley Hall and Phoenix Drive. Academic building. 611 yards east. Mermoz Digital Theater. Academic building. 478 yards east.
Oh, I should have changed the mode back.
Mermoz. Off. Label.
There you go.
Harper Hall. Academic building. Chandler Fountain. Acoustic landmark. Ernest Akery Senior Business Center. Moffett Hall and Dalton Michael Drive. Academic College Dining Hall.
Okay, so we were already there, or we already know that section that we just passed, basically.
William Henry Bell Pavilion. North Antioch Avenue. East Howard Avenue and North Appley Avenue. T intersection. Harold Grossman Bell Library. North Antioch Avenue and East Lyon Avenue. Intersection. Limner Hall. Administration and College of Arts and Sciences. Mosley Center. Conference Center. Carolina Residence Hall. Drive Circle. Shallow Fort Church and University Drive. Intersection. Road Stadium. Sport. Wetfield and Anglo America Drive. Sports. Bell Track and Whitefield. Sport.
So it seems like up in the north section of this global area is all sport related, or fields and stuff.
Absolutely.
And south is dining halls, residence areas, and a few academic buildings.
You are at global neighborhood. Academic building.
And we're back.